Good morning. Okay, it is Sam McDonough, IFBB Bikini Pro, and today we are going to talk about I should have known the names, the NPC Natural Battle of the Titans and Legion Sports Fest. Okay, where to begin? Okay, I'm gonna begin with the natural show. And first of all, thank you guys for liking my videos and commenting on them. I get so excited when I see a comment come through. It just means so much that anyone would take the time to leave it. So thank you so much. It totally makes my day. So we're here with the video for like, I don't know, is it the third day in a row? It might be the fourth, I'm not sure. Or fourth video, I don't know, whatever. Either way, my non-profit spotlight will be below. I think we're going back to Trans Lifeline. I love Trans Lifeline, so you can read more about them below. And let's start with the natural show, the Battle of the Titans, first, because there are only 4 people, and my nose is still itchy, guys. You guys, my nose is so dry. My nose is so dry. I look like I itch my nose all the time. And when I'm at the gym, it looks like I just like did a bump of Coke, which I've never done in my life because I'm a square. And yeah, then I go about my workout. So yeah, we're dealing with my nose itching again still. So let's get into our first athlete. So we only have 4 people on this list. We have Sepida, and then Megan Agento, and then Ashley Downs, and then Mashea. So let's start with Sepida. So, God, I'm so sorry. I should have looked up how to say her name before this, because clearly I'm struggling. So, starting with her. So she just competed at the Las Vegas Natural Show that happened a few weeks ago. Do they have a fully posed back post? I mean, it's looking like no. Okay. So let's start with her front pose. So here she is. I believe she got 7th at the show. Tell me, am I correct? Am I correct? Yes, she got 7th at the show. Oh, and there were no comparisons. So whatever, we're just gonna go off this. So here she is in her front pose. What do I have to say about her front pose? I think she could keep a tighter core. It looks like she's losing a little bit. Maybe she's not fully posed. Let's check another photo. Okay, this looks fully posed. So, yeah, I do think that she could keep her core tighter. It looks like she's letting it relax a little bit. It also looks like it's happening because she's arching her low back. She's pushing her stomach out. So when you are arching your low back, which you do in the entire time you're on stage, really, like there really is not a time where you're not arching your back. It should be happening all the time, to various degrees, like depending on your muscular development. So if you have really full glutes, you probably don't need to arch quite as much. So yeah, but here I think that's what's happening. I think she's pushing her stomach out because she's arching her back. It still looks flat, but it's either missing that like kiss of detail in the like core, like her ab development, or she's just not keeping it tight enough. So I think that she does have that hint at the top of her core. I would like to see it throughout her whole core. And now that I say that, I'm like, bitch, do I even have that? I don't think I do. Sam McDonough. IFBB. Yeah, I don't think that's something I need to work on as well. Better abs. So, okay, I'll show you. See, I need the same thing. It's just totally washed out. So, yeah, that's what I would like to see on her. A little more ab detail. And you know what? I'm clocking myself right now. So, that and then her hand, it could be dropped down to her hip. She's covering up, not even covering up, but it's just at the smallest part of her waist. And like I always say, when it's at the smallest part of your waist, like around your belly button, it just looks like skin flowing into skin. And we really want to see how like tight that waist is. So do not cover up the tightest part of your waist. So that honestly could be the other thing that's making me think that it looks thicker than it actually is. The arm, it's at a good spot. Maybe she could bring it tighter, but it's really not bad at all. But yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks like she's really arching, and then she's leaning her upper body back a little bit, like arching this upper back, the thoracic spine, and that's what's happening to the core. So yeah, my eye is just like when I open my eyes and pretend to be a judge, I'm drawn to the core. And I think she could maybe even angle away a little bit more. She's also sinking into this back hip. So should I just demonstrate? I'll demonstrate. Okay, my room, not clean, so get ready for this. Okay, let me move my little light. So what's happening is when you see my clothes. I love this jean jacket, this one. Okay, so what's happening is when you're in your front pose, so say I'm in my front pose, um, sometimes what happens is people sink down, so this back hip drops, and it can make their waist look thicker and just throws off their proportions as opposed to standing nice and tall and not having that issue happen. But when you sink back like that, it kind of throws off overall balance. So yeah, I would like to see her not sinking into that hip. And also, I'm so tempted to just show you the art in my room, but I think I've done that before, and that is not what this video is about. So yeah, I would like to see that change with her pose. And overall, long term, what she'll need is just more overall muscle development. The reason I say that is because I see a great shoulder cap here, but the arm, it's kind of one dimensional. Like you see a little bit of bicep, but yeah, it just doesn't have that like shapeliness that I want to see. It looks like just pretty one dimensional. It looks like where the muscles develop is just the shoulder. Like I even see like the little detail here in the shoulder, the vein. And I'm not saying I want to see veins on the arms. That would contradict everything I always say on this channel. You don't want to be overly vascular. But yeah, I just want to see some more shape. And maybe bringing the arm in is what would show that. But yeah, that's like actually looking at it more, the most muscle development I'm seeing is the shoulders, so that it's reading as an imbalance to me. Like everywhere else is kind of, it's a good shape and everything, but I just don't see that muscle definition except for in the shoulders. So yeah, I think just overall tighter conditioning will help her. I want to see some detail in this leg here, some detail in this leg here, like a little touch kiss of separation in the quad. I don't want to see like hardness and like muscles popping out of the quads, but I want to see some pop to the muscle. It just looks like she's just not popping out of the skin. She's not giving that bubble wrap look that I always talk about. So yeah, I would love to see that, but I probably should have started with, compliments say how much. Makeup and hair, gorgeous, beautiful girl. Not that that should matter, but it does. But beautiful girl. Ugh, feel so misogynistic saying that. Red, I think looks great on her. The tan, I think everyone had some issues with the tan at this show because it looks a little bit uneven. I'm sure she getting like in this pit area, and that's happened. That's happened to me before. It happened at my January show last year, but it happens all the time. And if everyone it all has issues with their tan, then it's no biggie. It's clearly the tanning situation. So yeah, I just want to see more overall pop, and I think that's going to come from short term, just losing a little bit more body fat. Long term, building more muscle. Yeah, because the arm here, it just looks like a little bit, on the not even thin side, but just less developed. So yeah, that's what I would like to see in her front pose. Okay, and then in her back pose, we didn't have a fully posed shot, but I will show you anyway. And we won't be too critical because, it's not fully posed. So here is her almost back pose. Yeah, so even if she were fully in this pose, she still would need to be a little tighter in these glutes and hamstrings. So yeah, just overall tighter. She totally could have achieved that between May 10th and May 31st when this show is. And let's see what she looked like when she went pro. Okay, yeah. So okay, I remember when she went pro actually. Yeah, just a little more muscle development. Okay, cool. So yeah, there she is. And then we have Megan DeGento. She also competed at this Vegas show, so it didn't pull up. So Megan is who I predicted to win this Vegas show that I just showed you pictures of. And she ended up getting fifth place. So I already pretty thoroughly broke down what I thought. However, I did have audio issues or issues with the visuals in that video. There were none. I had to add that in, so it kind of got fucked up. But yeah, so tons of glue in this like little transition pose here. But it was when she got in her back pose that we had some issues. So I will go into it in depth again because I know that it was kind of confusing in my last video. So in this front pose, she looks, I don't know why it's opening on its own like that, but whatever. Okay, in the front pose, beautiful shape. I think what happened at this show is that okay. I think what happened at the show is that she was more muscular than everyone else, and that stood out in a negative way. Or it just made her look like one is not like the others kind of situation. And she looked a lot more developed in her front pose than she did in her back pose. Like the back pose from the lower body looks like two different competitors. And I don't mean that in like a bitchy way. Um, I just mean like I think she has the size, but she is not posing to show us the size. So yeah, and the hardness in the upper body is a little bit too extreme, especially compared to the other. Actually, everyone was pretty conditioned, but like her upper to lower body is not matching here. She's a lot harder in the upper than she is in the lower. The glute pop is incredible. She doesn't have to have that much arch to get this shape, so that's kind of what I was talking about a second ago. The blue I think is really pretty on her. The hair I thought was a little bit harsh with how bright it was compared to like the tan and stuff. So I always hate to say dye your hair, but I think it's a situation where like dyeing your hair, that would help. But yeah, that's what I think. Waist is tiny. Like this is a killer, killer, killer front pose. She could straighten this leg slightly. Like it looks a little bit nervous with how bent forward it is. I understand if you're trying to not let your knee look like it's hyperextended, then having a little bit, but this might be a little bit too much. Is it going to be the difference between winning and losing this show? No, I don't think so, but I'm just going to say what I see. And this arm is also looking a little bit round. I'd like her to straighten it a little bit. I mean, maybe she's not fully posed with the arm there, so. Okay, yeah, I mean, well, pretty similar, but maybe a little better. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. She could straighten her arm a little bit. I'm not sure. It looks like maybe she has a lot of tricep development. I'm not sure, but I think she could just straighten her arm. But really, it's not bad. Like how it is totally fine. Okay. I wear, maybe it's not a natural deodorant thing, but like sometimes I'll sweat and it'll get on my couch. So I have this blanket here to catch my little droplets so I don't have to go in with my little Shout detergent to clean my couch. Okay. So back pose. Yeah. So what's going on here? Maybe I'll just demo again. Okay. Tell me if you guys like this. When I just demo stuff for you. So what's going on in the back pose is that she's too arched in her spine and like her upper back here and not enough in her glutes. She is arched in her glutes, like in her low back, but she's not getting the shape. So this width up top is too wide compared to her lower. You want that width to match. You want this width to match your hip width. Her arms are in the perfect spot. Her upper body is like, it's a really good pose. She just needs to push it forward a little bit. So what's going on here is that this is what the difference looks like. And this is someone, me, who's like, not even close to stage condition. So just, take it with a grain of salt. Or just, listen to my words. Okay. So what's going on in her back pose is she is arched and leaned back. So from the side, it looks like this. What you want it to be is more like this. So you're hinged in your hips here. And I always recommend keeping your core tight, even in your back pose, because it can make a big difference. So like, here's what it looks like when I'm relaxed. Waist is wider versus tight. It makes a difference. So yeah. So anyway, she's like this. I want it to be more like this. So I do have a little bit of a bend in my knees. They're just soft knees. So right now, she's like this. So the shoulder width is wider than the hip width here. If she just hinged forward a little bit, leaned her upper body forward a bit, then that would solve that issue. And she would get better pop in her glutes. So yeah, I would love to see her make that change. And that's what I think the issue is with her back pose. Okay, so yeah, I think she would get better glute pop because she clearly has a ton of glutes. Like her glutes are crazy. Especially like she's a natural athlete. Are you kidding me? I mean, I believe her. I just mean like, wow, that's amazing. Okay, so yeah, that's what I think there. Suit color I think is good. Everything else, good. The tan doesn't look like it has any issues, honestly. Hair, like I said, same thing. Maybe she could even keep this hair, even though I don't think it's the best. Maybe she could keep the hair and just have it straight. I don't know. There's something, it could look a little more polished, I think. So yeah, that's what I think. And with her, maybe a little bit of a body wave, like a Brittany Gillespie. I'll pull up Brittany so you can see, what I am talking about. I loved how Brittany's hair was at this show and at Hawaii last year. Like this wave would be really good on her. And the reason I say maybe not straight for her is because she is on the more muscular side, especially, like in this front pose in the upper body. So she'd soften this conditioning up a little bit. But if you have straight hair and you're really muscular, it can kind of accentuate that, especially against like if it's, we are looking at the competition she's going against. The first person we looked at is less muscular, and so are these other two. Well, at least one other person. So if she had totally straight hair, it would like accentuate how muscular she is, even though this is a muscle show. But if she had a little bit of a wave, that would soften her up overall and have enough volume that it's not overpowering her physique, but just enough to like soften her up and make her, a little bit streamlined in that way. So yeah, that's what I think there. And hopefully the pose I did looked okay because, girl, I'm a posing coach, so if my pose looked bad, that's no good. Okay, so next person. We have Ashley Downs. So she just placed second at Kansas City, which I reviewed the other day. So I don't really have anything new to say about her. I'm really just kind of going to rank where I think these people are going to fall. But yeah, posing things, I think her conditioning needs to be more streamlined. Can that happen in a week? Probably no. But you can always improve your stage presence within even a day. So yeah, that's what I think there. And then we have Mashea. So here's Mashea. She just got 8th at the Las Vegas show in the Open. She competed in the Masters and got 3rd. So she placed one spot below our first competitor we went over. So what do I think she could improve on? So I think she's too opened up here. What I would like to see is moving those hips so I see less of the stoop bottoms. Okay, I'm not going to do this for everyone, but I will just do this one final time, just in case it's helpful. So she's really forward facing here. She's like this, and she has good shape still. But if she just turned her hips away a little bit, she would get better hourglass shape. So I would love to see her make that change. And that's just shifting the angle of your hips. Like that's literally it. And then as you can see, that would like, she does have some curve here, like the S curve, but loses some glute pop. Shoulder width looks a lot wider than her lower body. So again, like when she's posed like this, my upper body looks way more dominant. I don't get any glute pop compared to when I just angle away. My shoulder width begins to match my hip width, and the waist is more accentuated in a why do I want to say proper way, healthy way, more flattering way? That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so those are our 4 athletes for that. How do I think placings will land? Let me tell you. Okay, so I think Megan is going to win. I'm picking Megan again. And then I think it will be, I think if she can fix her posing, then I think it's going to be Mashea in second place. I'm going to write these down because I always say who I think will place where. Okay, so at this show, Titans, I'm going to say Megan, Mashea, and then probably Sepida, because I think, oh, I didn't even look at her back pose. Yeah, I think it's really just posing for this athlete that got her a spot behind Sepida. Yeah, like this is really good. Like the back pose, I don't really have anything I would change. And then let's look at the scorecards for this show too. Okay, I'm gonna Sepida, and then I think it's gonna be Ashley. So yeah, that's my 4. And when I go look at the results of the Vegas show, so if you ever want to get here, just go to IFBBpro.com and then click results. And I usually will just do a little Command F action. Okay, how long ago was that? It was May 10th, right? Okay, here it is. So our results, let's see how close 7th and 8th place score was. Okay, so it was a perfect score between the two. Yeah, I think if Mashea makes that one posing tweak, she's gonna place ahead of Sepida. Okay, so that's that. And now, wow, that was 20 minutes. Okay, so now I am gonna go over our what is the show that I'm going over? Legion. Okay, so Legion. I love the Legion show. Maybe I can go watch this in person. Actually, no, I think I'm gonna walk a dog that day. Oh no, I have a opposing client. Yeah, well, okay. Maybe I'll go to the show. Maybe I won't. I don't know. It's driving distance. So let's get into it. We have a big list. Let's count how many Olympians are on here. So Olympians, we have Savannah Dolezal, Brittany. I think Peyton went to it years ago. Eureka, Alice, and Eureka and Alice are top 15 Olympians. 12th place 2022, 15th place 2024. So yeah, we have 4 Olympians on this list. So let's get into everyone. I have some pro debuts I will talk about too. Okay, so let's start with Kimber Bonilla. So Kimber has placed top 5 more than once. Yeah, okay, twice last year, and the year before that, I think yeah, girl power. And she's done other shows, but under a different name. So I didn't pull those up because they're from 2023. So Kimber, always someone to look out for in the lineup. Kimber, her biggest thing is posing. Her posing changes often because she's trying to figure out what works for her. So let's see if she's posted an update as to what her posing is currently looking like. She usually updates us. Okay, yeah. Yeah, this posing is this is good. This is good. For a while, she was trying to minimize her frame by being a little bit shorter, like squatting into it a little bit more. But I think this is good. So I'm just going to go off this pose because it's recent. So I think her shoulders sloping off. So I want her to level her shoulders. And yeah, just stand up taller, I would say. It looks like she's sitting into this hip a lot, probably to get that glute to pop, because glutes are something she's been told to grow. So the only thing I would change is if she could stand up. I understand why she is sitting into this leg like this, although I do think it kind of reads as an imbalance. However, the trade-off is, does she stand taller and look less muscular? Will that help her place better because she will have better balance from top to bottom? Or is it worth doing what she's doing because even if she is a little imbalanced, maybe this could help her place better because she looks fuller in the lower half. So, and this is kind of reminding me of Ashlyn. Like, I think Ashlyn looks a little lower body dominant in her front pose. However, I mean, yet she still won a show a few days ago. So, and they are very different heights. Like, it's like a foot difference probably. Well, not that, but like, it's significant. It's like 8 inches probably. So yeah, I would like to see her level her shoulders. And I think she could do that while still sitting into the hip like she is. Let's see, when she placed 5th last, what did her pose look like when she placed 5th at Clash? Clash is usually a big show, so I'll see how many people were there. Yeah, so that shoulder was too hiked up. Yeah, too hiked up, I think. So yeah, let's see what happens with this pose. I mean, Kimber kind of has it rough being so tall. Like, it does become a disadvantage. It does become a disadvantage at times because it takes a lot more muscle to like get the same shape that the other people have. Yeah, there were 20 people at the show. Okay. So as far as presentation, presentation is my biggest gripe, and I will show you a different show because the lighting's better. That's my biggest gripe with Kimber, because Kimber has a really nice stage presence and she obviously works very hard. However, she chooses to do her own makeup, which I get, especially when you do a lot of shows like she does. It's a big investment, but the makeup always leaves me wanting more. Like, it's just not glam enough. And it's, I feel impassioned about it because I think Kimber is really good. And I think it's just it's such a bummer when like your makeup is something that holds you back, because I genuinely think it is. So makeup, I just want it to be glam. Get it done for one show. Get it done for Legion, because you're going up against Olympians. Legion is a big show. So yeah, I really just want to see her have glam makeup. That is just what is missing for me. And I am a Kimber fan, and I want her to have like the total package, which she's tried her makeup more than enough times, and I just think it's worth paying for the makeup just at one show. I would love to see that. Not saying she's cheap. I think she like genuinely, not that it's even a huge diss to be cheap or something, but I think she enjoys the process of doing her makeup. Like, I think she likes that. But try getting pampered for once, you know what I mean? So as far as suit color, she changes that a lot. I think the red is nice. I like when she wears, what is she wearing? This purple looked really good on her. I want to say green. Like, I do like that purple a lot on her. I want to say green, but I don't like that, like, blackened base green. Like, this green is better. So, yeah, I would love to see that green on her. So that's Kimber. Now, I'm kind of just naming the people that I'm looking out for, and then I'll say who I, because I don't think everyone here is vying for a top five. So yeah, okay, I'm gonna X her out, and then yeah. So Brie Burton, she is making her pro debut. She went pro at USA's in 2023, and what do I think about her? So I'm just gonna go off her most recent update photos. So here are her most recent update photos. I bring her up because I think she has excellent balance from top to bottom. Could she use a little more muscle? Yes. Is her lower body a little more muscular than her upper body in at least this photo? I would say yes. So I would like to see a little more shoulder long term. If she even opened up her shoulder width a little bit, so like I saw more like this, but not as forced with that shoulder, then maybe that would help. But I do think this is a great pose. I think this is similar to what the judges ask for, so I think that's really good. And then great shape to the glutes. The conditioning looks really nice where it is here. In the back pose, still more shoulder. That's kind of what I'm missing. So it looks like almost her shoulders are sloped forward. I would like to see her open up her chest so we see more of that roundness to the shoulders. And okay, I will demonstrate one more time because I think that this one is kind of hard to get unless you see it. So when I say sloped forward, I mean that like in her back pose right now, it looks like they're kind of like rounded off. I want to see her open her chest so we get better pop to those rear delts. So yeah, that's my little demo. Okay. And then moving on. So yeah, I'd be interested to see like, is she going to get top five when there are four Olympians and other like consistent top five pros? On paper, no, but I would like to see where she stacks up, and I would be very excited to see her in that top 10. I would be excited to see her anywhere in the top 10, like especially at the top half, but yeah, so I'm excited to see her pro debut. And I might start talking about pro debuts more because, I'll make mine at some point, so I root for people making their pro debuts. Okay, Erin Kay. I was gonna say she'll probably be at the show. She's in like Reno area, but yeah, no shit, she'll be at the show. She's competing in it. Okay, so Erin won the second overall at the Olympia Amateur last year. Top three overall at the Amateur Olympia. Go Pro. In bikini. So, and I love Erin. I have met Erin. We met at a seminar hosted by the promoter of the show. She's about to do Legion. So here is her front pose. She is like, everyone's a hard worker, I know, but like, she's just such a hard worker, such a great person. She can pole dance. She's so cool. I just like am a big fan personally. Now, what do I think about her physique? So let's look at her most recent poses. So here, here's the show she did. This was in October. And then here was her back pose. I don't think she's fully posed. Okay. Here was her back pose. Okay. Not totally on center. So I have her Instagram pulled up. So here was her photo from maybe even today, 8 days out. So last week. So close my eyes. What do I see? Okay. I love Erin's physique. Erin's only thing that she's more narrow in her hips and has wider shoulders. So she has to build up her glutes more to get that matching width from top to bottom. So that's just a structural thing. And she's done an incredible job, overcoming it. So yeah, she started posing on a different side as well. So what do I think about this pose? Since she's already more narrow in the hips, then when she has her feet so close together, it makes her look even more upside down triangle. So I would like to see this foot kicked out to here and on the same plane as the straight legs foot. So right now it's like you see it, and if she just had it out right here, I think that would really help out her hourglass shape, so she would get more of that like symmetry from top to bottom, tapering to that tiny waist, and then the width on the bottom, width on the top. That's what I would like to see. Back pose I think is absolutely perfect. Do her quads look like they slightly overpower her glutes? I would say yes. But is it worth angling the toes in more? Hard to say. I'm gonna say I'd like to see it, but I think this is a great pose and that the toe angle probably won't be make or break. So yeah, the main thing is I want to see the feet change in the front pose, but everything else I think is completely spot on. So super rooting for Erin. Okay, and then we have Judith Cabellos. So here she is. She placed third at the IFBB World Classic last year, so the pro show that followed the NBC Junior National show. So yeah, she great physique, incredible bikini proportions, beautiful hourglass shape. The Sue, I think, is a little close to the color of the tan, so I would like to see a different color, like really any color that's not similar to the tan. Hair, makeup, presentation, all great. I haven't seen her in that many shows, really, so it's hard to say where she will land. But she's someone to look out for. Really great glute insertions. I would say she looks a little bit softer on the bottom than she does on the top. But yeah, it'll just be a matter of how she comes in. And here are her most recent update photos. So this was 3 days ago. And I think she's really streamlined and her conditioning looks a very similar top to bottom now. So I'm excited to see where she might land. Okay. Then we have, oh, did I X anyone out? Okay. Okay. Erica. Yeah, that's Erica. So Erica has placed top 5 multiple times. Um, Erica, big fan of Erica. Seems like a very cool person. I've met her before and she was very nice. So yeah, really great hourglass shape. Her biggest hurdle is keeping her waist tight. She has gotten it increasingly tighter over the years. Like it looks better and better every single year. So here's what she looked like at Charlotte, which I showed you. And then last year, this is what she looked like. Look how tight, she's gotten her waist to be. Let me show you. Oh, let me show you. Okay. Wow, so crazy my videos are over 30 minutes. I really can talk. Okay, so yeah, her angle, she's changed her angle. She's closed off a little bit. She was more shoulder dominant than lower body. So her pose this year looks a lot more balanced. It looks like at this show she could have just been a little bit tighter. I like the suit color. I don't like how it's fitting. So I want more coverage here. I don't really want to see the side boob. The red lip, I think, is a little much with the red suit, but I mean, she looks great. Skin looks really good. She softened up her upper body. This was last year, so she softened up. Her conditioning looks the same top to bottom. So yeah, she looks great. And she's delivered on things that I assume they have told her, like specifically the hardness and the core. Here is her back pose. This looks really good. I don't have any notes really. I mean, maybe she could angle her toes more forward just point her toes forward instead of at this angle because her quads look like they're overpowering her glutes a little bit. And I think she made that change, then that would change her back pose in a good way. But yeah, it's just going to be mainly that front pose. Moving on to Hannah DeVore. So she has not competed since 2019, so I won't really even bother showing you these photos because she didn't crush it at the show. But I will show you her update photos. Hannah, yeah, I like the green. Her shape is looking really, really good. So I think she's made really good improvements to get back on stage in 2025. Yeah, I think she'll fit in. So, I mean, yeah, I'm just excited to see how she fits in now. I think the shape is really good. Obviously, this was, a few weeks ago. But yeah, so excited to see her on stage. I want to give her a shout out. Okay, and then we have Savannah. So Savannah placed 7th at her first row back since she competed at the Olympia in 2023. So yeah, this first she got 7th. It was at Wasatch. Love her look. I think the glam is good. It looks like a little shiny, so I don't know if the glam could be improved, but yeah, the glam looks good. I'm just gonna turn off this alarm oh no, it's not for a while. So yeah, at this show, I think she came in a little bit hard and was just kind of working out the kinks, knocking the dust off since 2023. I want to see more projection in her glute. The tan looks really good. So yeah, I want to see her soften up. I don't want to see quite as much vascularity like I'm seeing a lot in her core, her shoulders here. And I'm not seeing much glute shelf, so I would like to see that. If she angled her hips away a little bit, so I see less of the front of her suit bottoms, I think that would help her out. And that's like an easy, quick fix she can make, or she can do. And then looking at her, oh, okay, here she is again. Yeah, okay, she's more angled, so I think she could arch her low back. It looks like she's tucking her pelvis a bit. So I'd like to see her arch her low back. Yeah. Okay, and then in her back pose, I think the back pose is good. I think the hair could be more glam. Like it's also exposing a lot of her back, so run a brush through the hair, that would be good. Conditioning in her lower half is, I think, spot on. A little hard in the upper body. So same things really. Could she point her elbows out a little bit more? I rarely say that, but yes, I do think she could to give her a little better shape. She looks pretty closed up. But let's look at what she was posing like when she went to the Olympia. Yeah, she's had a little more fullness at the Olympia. The hair, this is what I want to see with the hair. And I like this makeup better too. Uh, yeah, really great fullness. So I want to see this conditioning again and this hair again. But those are the only changes I have. Okay, Brittany. So I've talked about Brittany twice this week already. So what would I say about Brittany? I would say probably bring the same thing, but bring the arm in tighter so we get more of this lat. Because I think the issue with Brittany, one, I don't love the suit. Like red on her is good, but this red is just too dark, I think. So I would like to see a more jewel toned red. Well, this is jewel toned, but a more like bright red, that she's worn in the past. And then I would bring the arm in tighter because I think, and I said this before, Brittany has a crazy structure, and I almost wonder if it's inconsistent with how it's rewarded because it's so freaky that judges see it as potentially unattainable. I do think she got overlooked at this show. I think it's shocking and honestly criminal that she did not get into at least the top five. Um, Sorry. No, I'm actually not sorry. That is what I think. So I stand by that. So I think it's criminal. Um, but yeah, so I think what is happening with her front pose is she looks very narrow on the waist, which is a good thing, but I see no muscle here. I want to see some more lat. I think it's because she's arching her thoracic spine back a lot and this arm is drifting out. So if she could bring her arm in tighter, that would allow her to flex her lat better. And if she had stood up straighter in the torso instead of like leaning this shoulder way back, then she would get more of that hourglass shape. Like she would get that lat tapering into the waist and then going out to the glute. But right now, it just looks like no muscle here in this back at all, and then a lot of muscle on top and bottom. So, yeah, when I say no muscle, I mean obviously she has muscle. Like that's an exaggeration, but like you get what I mean, I'm sure. In her back pose, I mean, I can't judge it. They didn't give her a full back pose shot. Her hair could be off her shoulders because I do think it was obscuring her shoulders a bit in the comparisons. Let's confirm. Let's confirm before I make these statements. Okay, comparisons. Okay, back pose. Let me look for a blonde. Yeah. So I think the hair, I really like the wave in the hair. Like, I think it's beautiful, but I think it could, no, I think that looks good. I mean, it could be off her shoulders a little bit, but that's it. Like, I think this is really good back pose. Maybe triceps look a little hard, but honestly, it's pretty grainy. I think she could soften up her conditioning in this back pose here, which means it would soften in the front pose too. It would be a matter of like making sure she doesn't lose core definition when she does that. But yeah, that's what I think about Brittany. Then we have Peyton. So Peyton placed fourth at Wasatch. Peyton has a really good shape, and she's been to the Olympia, right? No. No, she has not. Okay, she hasn't. So I was thinking of someone else. Oh, I know who I was thinking of. I can't remember her name, but I can picture her. So yeah, really great shape. She's hunched over, like she's leaned forward. So I want her to level these shoulders, maybe angle the shoulder width a little bit more profile because it's overpowering the lower body. And for her, it's just going to be keeping a very tight core because it looks like that's kind of where she struggles. And this is a tight core. Like I'm not, I'm not blind, but like it needs to be tighter. Yeah. So she could actually stand to lean back a little bit in this front pose because it's, the way she's doing it, it's making her waist look thicker. And then in her back pose, more upper outer glute and a little bit too hard in this hamstring area. So soften up the conditioning, adjust the front pose. I would minimize the hair a bit because it's kind of overpowering her upper body. And long term, more glute. And the shoulder, it looks uneven. Okay. And then we have, I love Eureka. I love Eureka. Okay. So Eureka just qualified for the Olympia last weekend. I already talked about her, so what I want her to change is just bringing the arm in tighter. That's my only feedback for her front pose. She could also stand a little taller because I think this makes her waist look a bit thick, and I don't know if this wrinkling is coming from her sitting into her hip, or if like that's just because the suit's tight and it's like pulling her skin down. But yeah, stand up taller, bring the arm in closer, and then in the back pose, I think she could stand to straighten her arms a little bit so we don't get this a major gap. It just looks a little bit too forced. So straighten her arms a little bit, minimize the amount of background we see here, and that's it. Everything else could stay the same, in my opinion. Okay, and then we have Alice. So Alice just placed second. You know I love Alice. So what do I think about Alice? Always the arm. Arm needs to be tighter to the physique. And then, yeah, I just talked about her the other day, so you can watch that. But yeah, straighten the arm, make it tighter to the physique. The fullness, I think, is really good. She also looks like she's leaning over a little bit. But yeah, and then her back pose, yeah, minimizing the hair a little bit so it doesn't cover the shoulders, and then pulling the suit bottoms down so you don't get this like shallow part of the glute exposed, and so it doesn't make the glutes look pointy. I want the bottoms to be more heart-shaped. So yeah, that's it. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Oh, no. Who do I think is gonna place where? Okay, let me write it down. So I think it's going to be a tight race for first place with Alice, Eureka, and they're different heights, so it's not like a totally comparable group in that way. But I think Alice, Eureka, and Brittany. Brittany is a wild card. Like, it just depends. Like, a lot of judges really like her look, and other judges seem to place her lower. So, okay, I'm going to say in first place, I want to say Eureka because I like Eureka a lot. I mean, I like a lot of these people a lot. But I'm going to say in first place, it'll probably be Alice, Eureka in second, Brittany in third. And I don't know if that's just my bias talking with Brittany because, like, I think Brittany has a great bikini physique. I do want her to soften up, like, the vascularity she gets in her hamstrings and stuff, but I wanted her to soften up all over. Okay, so that's my top three. And then I know a fourth person. Oh, Savannah has been in the Olympia. I don't know if Savannah has enough muscle to keep up with these three that I just listed, though. So I'm hesitant to put her in that fourth place. But, I mean, it's not that deep of a show where it'd be crazy if she got into fourth place. So I'm going to say, okay, that's my top three. And really everyone, and I think it's a tight race among those three. So, and the other spots could be straight up anyone, but I'll give my guess just because. So I'll say Peyton in fourth. And then, oh, I didn't talk about Tiana. My bad. Okay. So Tiana. So she just placed, maybe she got like a ninth place. Yeah, okay, she's got ninth place at Optimum. Where Eureka won the show. So what do I think about her? I think she just needs a little more size to the lower body, like the glutes specifically, a little more just a little more density all over. She looks a little bit harder in the lower than she does in the upper. But beautiful, beautiful look. Beautiful look. Really good. Okay. And then back pose. I think the hair is pretty. Could be a little bit shorter. Straighten the arms a little bit. It looks a little bit forced, and we're not seeing any taper into the waist, really. And a little hard in the hamstrings, but really good look. I'll say Tiana in fifth. If not, I'm going to say her in fourth and Peyton in fifth. Judith, actually. Okay, I'm going to say Judith in fourth. So I have Alice, Eureka, Brittany, Judith. Peyton might beat out Tiana, though. But Tiana, I think, has a really good overall package, so I'm gonna put her ahead, and then Peyton. So that's my top six. I'm not confident about them. But, and then, will Peyton really, yeah, Peyton has placed above Savannah very recently. Okay, I'm gonna say Peyton, Savannah, Tiana. Yeah, now it's getting all over the place. It's so tough. I mean, I'm not confident in any of these. Hannah, I think could be in there. Aaron, I think could definitely be in that top 10. Yeah, it could really be anything, but I will say Alice in first place. And then Eureka in second. I think it could be tight between them. And then Brittany, but Brittany could even blow everyone out of the water and just get first. So, yeah, that's what I think. Let me know what you think, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.